What's up, everybody? Welcome to Patreon episode of Flagrant 2. Assholes, how are you? It's your boy Schulz, Akaash Singh, AlexxMedia and Mark Gagnon. Taylor is not in the building. You're welcome. Okay, now listen. So Biden hired this to be like the health secretary of the country. Okay. Right? And she was the health secretary of Pennsylvania. Okay? And I guess, you know, she was a him and now she's a her. And obviously people are reacting like, oh, this is some like progressive move and this is what America's going to look like and this is like an overcorrection of diversity and this kind of shit like that. I actually say no. You can be progressive and diverse in jobs that don't matter. Hollywood is meaningless. Yeah. So you can make every superhero a black Muslim trans person if you want because it means that there's no stakes. Right. Right? That's what she looks like, right? Right there. Fuck no, you didn't.
Son, that's God, yo.
No, dude,
that was God,
Alex's beat-off hand started shaking the second the image came up and he knocked off his coffee. That was unbelievable, bro. So, but what's interesting about this for me, are we good? We can keep recording? Keep recording. Okay. Or should we just take a break for a second? Maybe it's better. Let's take a break for a second. All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because I need to make sure that you're accessing all the internet that you should be able to access. And the reality is most of you are not, okay? You pop on Netflix in whatever country you're in, there's some shows on Netflix that you cannot watch because you are not in a country that has all of the Netflix options. You pop on Netflix in Brazil, you might not get the same movies that Netflix in America has. And you know what? You should. And vice versa. We can't watch all them hot Brazilian bodies because we don't have a VPN. What is a VPN? Listen, we could go into some mumbo jumbo about how exactly it works, but you don't know what that is. And let's be honest, I don't even know what that thing is either. Basically, it protects you. It protects your internet and it gives you access to all the internet in the world by switching your location. So it tricks your computer into thinking it's in Kansas when the reality is it's in Croatia. And you have all that access for almost nothing. Literally, it's shocking how cheap it is. Matter of fact, Surfshark VPN, which is the company I'm talking about, you got to increase your prices. You really do. It's actually too cheap. I think right now, actually I know right now, you can get 83% off a 2-year plan and 3 extra months at surfshark.deals/flagrant. Okay? Think about that. 83% off a 2-year plan and 3 extra months for free at surfshark.deals/flagrant, okay? This special offer makes your subscription $2.21 per month so you can browse securely on all your devices. Now, what can you do? First of all, if you don't like it, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's how confident they are in this, okay? You get your money straight back if you don't like it. You get a clean web. You can surf in a clean cyber ocean with no ads, trackers, malware, or phishing attempts on you. So they're not getting nothing from you. You know people on the internet are trying to get everything right now. Unlimited devices, iPads, computers, phones, whatever it is, you could tap into this VPN. No borders mode. This is what I was talking about earlier, okay? You can watch all the content that the internet has to offer no matter where you are, okay? The internet should be open to everyone. This mode allows you to successfully use Surfshark in restricted regions, okay? Maybe they even got some North Korean TV that's popping. K-popping. Camouflage mode. Also, camouflage mode makes sure that even your internet provider can't tell you're using a VPN, okay? So it's super protected, stays private always. Now, you can watch any of your favorite movies, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. Go do it. That's surfshark.deals/flagrant. Do it now. Let's get back to the clip. All right, I don't remember the last thing I said before Alex spilled a whole Starbucks onto the desk, but the reality is I'm not tripping off this appointment. What I was trying to say is, like, in meaningless jobs that don't matter at all, you can be progressive about stuff because there's no stakes. Right. Do you know how good you got to be at your job to be like the health advisor? Yeah. Do you know, to be an astronaut? We're not getting progressive with astronaut. Like, if there's a chick astronaut, that bitch is nice at astronauting. You know? So I assume this girl, I assume she's got to be like even way better than the next best person to make up for the fact that she's trans.
Come on.
I really believe it because you don't want to play no games. Because if she fucks up, imagine how pissed off people going to be with the trans person. This is what happens when you put some crazy trans person in head of health.
Head of health during a pandemic.
That's
valid.
Like, they'll crush Biden on it. There couldn't be a more important appointment for Joe Biden right now than the health advisor.
So you're saying he thought this through and was like, this is merit-based.
Bruh. I bet you he's like, do we really got to go with the like, is there nobody else that's not as good? And then it turns out there wasn't. She's that much better than everybody else.
I completely disagree.
Okay, go.
I think.
But do you hear what I'm saying?
I do hear what you're saying.
The logic
is
up.
sound. The reason why I disagree, it's like you put someone you can't attack in a role that can
also sound
fuck up,
logic.
because now if you come at this person and say anything having to do with their gender or anything like that,
shit,
you're not focusing on the issue.
Here's what I would say to that, though.
Oh shit.
That's a
here's what I would say to that. Death trumps all that shit. If people are dying, you don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, but you still
I don't care how I look.
have to just focus on the issue.
That's a good point, though. No. Half of the people in this country won't be critical because they'll feel like they're transphobic.
Yep.
So they won't say a single thing. They're like, oh, she's doing her best, blah, blah, blah. Where if it was like a white male, they'd be like, well, this is what happened when the patriarchy is in control of a pandemic and people end up dying. People have died for years, da-da-da. Interesting point. But the other half of the country is gonna doubly blame Biden for this, but he don't give a fuck about them because they're not voting for him in the first place.
And if
so she's a shield for what they know is going to be continued fucked upness of Corona.
And if that other half says anything about her gender,
they're transphobic.
They're transphobic.
So
they're
she's
not judging her based off of what the job she's doing. They're just being transphobic.
This is low cheat. This is genius. Yeah. The left-wing institution is now using the progressive values that they pretend to care about as a shield for their shitty politics.
As they've been doing. You brought that point up, like with the Thunberg and all that type of stuff. Greta Thunberg and stuff like
Greta
that.
And like
the kids.
The gun control kids.
Oh my God, yeah. You use kids because you can't be critical of the kids.
So they did that with issues, and now they're like, oh shit, let's just bring this into the cabinet. And now everybody I appoint is fucking
Here's
Teflon.
what I would bring up, though.
This is brilliant.
Another thing you've said.
Yeah.
Keep giving you credit, even though you're moving us fucking for no reason.
God forbid I take y'all to Miami.
Yeah.
Whip your cocks out a little bit.
Yeah.
Take your cock out.
That
Put it in the
jump,
wind.
Son.
Say what?
That was just a jump. Like,
yeah.
We go to Miami now, just cocks are being whipped out.
Just flopping up and down, bro. Yeah. Flopping.
But
you know what I mean?
As you said, the majority of the country is moderate.
Yeah.
Moderate people aren't going to give a fuck. If we're dying, that moderate majority is going to be like, I don't care what this fucking gender is of this bitch. She's ruining everything. I don't care.
But they're going to have to qualify it, though. They're going to say...
they're going to have to qualify it, and then they're going to say, I don't give a fuck.
I have nothing against trans people, but... This
and then they might fear
weirdo is killing all my family members.
Is
That's
what
they're
those
gonna
people would say.
That's what they would say. I wouldn't say that. I would never say that. That's what they're going to say. In Cincinnati,
comedic genius.
That's what they're going to say. In Buffalo, that's what they're going to say. Yeah. Okay? Can you do that?
Yeah, I think you can.
Is that allowed to be said?
Yeah,
okay?
I think we're good.
All right? Why the hell is she in control? Okay? Having enough people disappear.
Hasn't she taken enough control? She already done took it out of God's hands.
Yeah.
It's what they'll say.
You didn't only make your balls disappear, you made my uncle disappear too. Okay? Bring them both back.
Is what those fucked up
Is
people
what those assholes
those
would
terrible
say.
people,
Exactly, that are so insensitive.
Yeah.
When this is someone who truly knows what they're doing. Pennsylvania. She was the health advisor for Pennsylvania.
How did Pennsylvania handle the pandemic?
Amazing.
I think it was fine. And
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Huh?
Is that a fact?
I need to double check, but I think
they're still open.
I think she got elected in a Republican district.
Bro, the Republican state senators had to okay her.
Yeah.
They were on board. That's how nice she is. She's nice.
If she's nice based on what you do with Pennsylvania, I'm on board. Who gives a fuck?
You know how fucked up, this is how fucked up culture is when we see someone get hired in this situation, we're so used to people who aren't as good being hired because they represent diversity, right?
Yeah.
By the left, at least, right? We're so used to that seeing in jobs that don't mean anything, like TV, et cetera. Like, we need Superman to be black, or we need all these other things. Like, we're so used to these progressive acts that when we see it happen, the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, this is just about progressivism.
performative.
It's performative. Instead of going, oh, this person's really talented. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just kind of, it sucks that's like the knee-jerk reaction to things. Like, if Idris Elba becomes the next Bond, I just want it to be because that motherfucker's nice.
Yeah, he is.
He's nice with it.
And he's fine as fuck.
And he
Top 5
kind of
dudes.
cute.
Yo,
You know, had that early COVID, bodied it.
Yeah.
yo, beat
When that shit was raw, uncut,
Raw
COVID.
dog. Yeah.
That was nice.
Bruh.
Slanging dick, had his shorty with him. You remember that? We didn't even
cock
know.
out, Miami.
Everybody was like, yo, COVID kills. That bitch was like, I'm not leaving this dick. This motherfucker about to be Bond.
We should make Idris Elba health secretary.
I'm with that.
That's
but he
diversity.
got to speak like Stringer Bell. He
that
can't
would
keep
be
that
lit.
English accent.
That'd be lit.
That would be fire.
Yeah. I'll
But
pay
yeah.
attention then.
Kind of a smart
No,
move,
but
though.
you know what's crazy is that if minorities do that diversity play, we feel that person's super qualified. Like the HBCU that hired an Asian editor-in-chief.
Yes.
We're like, this bitch must be amazing.
most.
She must be the nicest.
If they didn't go with the black person for this job.
Yep.
So it's like, why is it the opposite if white people do the
Because
diversity
black
play?
people don't have to prove that they're not racist. White liberals got to prove that they're not racist.
Yeah.
So you're like, you look at them skeptically, like, oh, you're just doing this to prove you're progressive.
I hate
Black
that.
people don't got to prove progressiveness.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
that. That's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate that. That's the knee-jerk reaction. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
fucking
wish-
dumb. Like, I hate like.
We could change that.
So no, we should.
Yeah.
But it's like for example, The Bachelor, right? We've all been watching The Bachelor, greatest show on television.
Yeah,
This
Victoria,
guy
the
Matt
goat.
James, right? Victoria the goat. Shout out to Vic. You know what I'm saying? But Matt James is The Bachelor, right? The guy is a little simpy,
Yeah.
but he's a fantastic bachelor. But before this, the reaction amongst a lot of white people was, oh, because of Black Lives Matter, we need to have a black bachelor, and it has to be this
Well, the
progressive
timing
shit.
was pretty crazy.
So no, and I'm not saying that didn't take into account. It might have, and it might have been the reason. I just think it sucks that we have to have that be our knee-jerk answer or reaction. Because when you watch the show, you realize, oh, this motherfucker is actually like the cookie-cutter bachelor.
Yeah.
Peter was terrible. Just getting fucking yanked around every direction. We needed somebody
Yeah.
that
That's a
for
good
the
point.
show.
It makes me wonder though. That seems like it only happens in America though. Like if I'm watching British TV and I see like some fucking like some Indian whatever,
very true.
I go, oh yeah, that's just that's what they do.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
doesn't
mean? That's fine.
feel like a diversity play when I'm watching like UK shows.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think they feel that way too, or go?
It might be because we're not as familiar with the the pulse of the culture there. So
Right.
if you're there, you might be like, yo, I know how liberal and fucking, you got 100 genders in Britain to 63 here. Like, we're
Right.
doing this thing to be progressive. But we don't know that. We're here. We don't give a fuck what they're doing. So we look at them like, oh, it must be merit.
Also, like, I don't know how good Great Britain is at getting people to buy into being British as their identity. You know, like America, whether we're good at it or not, we kind of allow people to keep their own identity when they come here. You know what I mean? Like, and then some people opt in. Like you could say, like Indians. I think you've even said this before. Like Indians make a choice. They're like, should we be kind of white about it? Should we be kind of black about it, or whatever? Right? But like Mexicans can be Mexican, a Mexican American, but like that can be like a cultural distinction for their community. Whereas like I noticed like Canada, people honor their cultures, but they all kind of seem Canadian.
Yeah.
Like even like the Jamaican Canadians, like when they're like saying shit like, oh yeah, there's a ting over there and that, they're like, that's fine. But like, you want to go to Timmy Hortons and get some donut holes?
Yeah.
You know? They like break that character a bit and then become Canadian. And maybe it's because Canada does a much better job at going, hey, we're all in this together. We don't have the same history of hatred and racism and slavery that America does. And we're going to make a real effort to let everybody know that they have an opportunity, you know, for the same things here. So maybe it's easier to opt in. I don't know, Al, what do you think?
It's hard. I love Canada for that, but I don't know why it's like that.
But
Sorry,
you
I gotta know
felt,
why.
as a black dude, you felt that same way? Like
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
And it's not to say like black dudes there are acting white. I just see them as acting Canadian.
Yeah.
Does that make
Like-
it might make sense? What up, people? You just watched a clip from our weekly Patreon episode. You can support the Flagrancy. You can support this unapologetic, unfiltered, uncensored content that we drop weekly on our Patreon at patreon.com/flagrant2. You want to go join? You should, because it's the top 10 Patreon in the fucking world. That's right, for a good reason. Go check out why at patreon.com/flagrant2. All right, peace.